If you have a driving test booked or are booking a test, then you need to watch this video. It's in two parts, and the second part is a real shocker. So it's Friday the 17th of May, and we're waiting in the test centre, me and my student, with 3 other people who are waiting for their test with their instructors. Sitting there waiting in the waiting room, examiners come down and start calling out names. Thing is, only 2 examiners came out. So that meant that 2 people didn't get to take their test that day. Now, I've seen this happen quite a few times, and more recently as well. So the 2 people went out. Luckily for me, my student was one of those, went out for their driving test. The 2 people that were left, well, the manager of the test centre came down and said, "Oh, I just need to get your licenses because we've only got 2 people going out for test at this time." So she took their licenses from them, disappeared for 4 or 5 minutes, came back in the room and talked to the first one. So this is the first part. And she said, "You have a test booked for today at this time, but it's at a different test centre." So we were in Coventry, and the test that they had booked was for Nuneaton. So what they had done is at the point when they're booking their test and they're looking for a test centre, sometimes you get a choice, and they've just clicked on the wrong choice without realising it. And so they've gone through the process, got their email, didn't really bother to check it, and came to the test centre. Missed their test, lost their test fee, everything about that. So that's the first point. The first point is just double check on your confirmation. There's a little confirmation box there, and just check on your email as well, just to make sure that you have the right test centre. You wouldn't be the first person to get that wrong. So the second person there that day who didn't get to take their test, they were different. They had now already started to check their email. And before the examiner could speak to them, they said, "No, look, I have a test today. It's today. It's today on this day in this test centre at this time." But the examiner said, "Well, we sent you an email actually to cancel this test." So he said, "Well, you know what? I've had no emails like that. You can check. Here's my inbox. I've had no emails apart from this one that confirms this day about my test." And here's what the examiner said, and this is why it's a bit shocking. She said, as though to suggest that this happens quite a lot, she said, "Have you checked your spam?" So he checks his spam. Sure enough, there's an email, and it said, "Sorry, DVSA, we've had to cancel your driving test." So that suggests it's almost as though that when you get your email to confirm your test date, that comes to your inbox. But when you get, if it's cancelled by the DVSA, that email goes to your spam. Who checks their spam? I know I don't. So they've not checked their spam, turned up. So that's why it's shocking. Just check your spam. So if you're watching this video now, what you need to do is check your spam, make sure that your test hasn't been cancelled, and just before you take your test, or the day or in the week before you take your test, go and check your spam again, because there could be 1,000 different reasons that the DVSA might have to cancel your test. So please take my advice, check your spam. All right, cheers. That's it really. Hopefully it'll all work out for you anyway. Cheers, bye.